So, hi everyone, happy Friday. This video has been a beast to put together, and sadly I have lost half of it. A couple weeks ago, when I had done a really big collections flip through, I went ahead and filmed the portion of most of the book part of this, hoping, because I wanted to go ahead and put them all up. At some point, dumb me ended up deleting that footage. So I do not want to pull all those books out again and redo that. It's taken most of the week just to do like a lot of, because there's a lot of pencils here, I like to try to actually swatch them out and show you guys what they look like. It's taken so long to do the supply portion, and honestly, that is like close to an hour anyway. So if I'd added the books in, it probably would have been like double that. So um, we're just not going to do the books here. However, I do have the complete list in the description of the books I purchased in September and October. I went ahead and added all those, and I also ended up, hang on a minute. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay. So down below, you'll see the list of all the books I bought in September and October and the links to those, because I, of course, had that ready to go. Here I was trying to be proactive. If you really want to see the books I picked up, I did put the link to a couple videos. There's one of my collections videos where I cover most of them, and then a couple flip through videos that encompasses the majority of the books I picked up these past 2 months. So I'm sorry I don't have the official book portion of it. Honestly, it would have been mostly a repeat if you've been watching any of my collection videos anyway. It would have been a lot of repeats of videos I've already done this past month, but and like I said, it worked out anyway because it's still be a long video anyway. But just wanted to let you know, so if you're not wondering where the books part of this went. So yeah, there's going to be supplies. It's going to feel a bit haphazard because honestly I was filming in bits and pieces this week. Like I said, I do like to try to swatch my supplies out and show those along with the supplies so you guys can see. I also was trying to wait for some paint to come in today that normally, I mean 99.9% of the time, are mailed out there at 10 a.m. and for some reason today it's still not out there, and it's like later in the day, and I don't know why. And I'm not mad at our postal guy, he's awesome, but it's funny because like today was a day I actually needed it to be on time. So if you don't see those paints, the rest of those shimmer paints in today's video, know that that will be coming next month, I guess. The only other thing I did want to note about today's video, I felt kind of bad. So I bought quite a bit. I splurged, just because I haven't been able to color. Shopping's really been my hobby the past few months. And I was kind of splurging just to treat myself for getting the new job and everything. And I kind of felt bad because I was talking about a lot of the stuff too happened to be at the lowest price it's been on Amazon in a while. And after a while I was like, I please I don't want anybody to think I'm like, please don't take away from this that I'm like bragging or anything. I'm talking about the prices just as a comparison to the other sets and just a comparison to what I've normally been seeing them priced at. So I realized I was talking a lot about that, and I was like, I hope nobody thinks I'm trying to brag or anything. And so now I feel bad about that, but I'm not going to go back and edit it because I don't want to touch any more video today. We're going to render it and slap that baby up and call it a day. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully it's informational, especially when it comes to those sets like that, like the markers and the pencils and stuff. I really do want to talk about my experience with them because those are pretty big purchases, and they are for anybody, so I just want to try to help people out as much as I can with giving them as much information as I can, so, and at least what my experiences with them are. So without further ado, I have talked myself out this week, it feels like. However, I do want to remind you guys, tomorrow night, I think, according to the poll results, tomorrow night I will be doing the live stream giveaway. Yes, it is definitely tomorrow night, based on the votes. And we're going to be giving away a copy of Hello Country Fall by Joshua Dunbar and a few other books. I'm going to put a post on Instagram tonight to kind of remind everybody. That's going to start about 6 p.m. Central. So we're going to give away the books. I'll probably get out a color by number Halloween book, and then we can just kind of chat the rest of the time. That's usually how these go. So looking forward to seeing y'all tomorrow night, and enjoy the video. Oh, and of course, before I continue, of course, I don't actually talk about it, but I have a link to it. I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but I did splurge on an official nice little rubber pad mat for my desk. You can see my cute little space kitties. Combines my two favorite things, space and cats. And yeah, and I put the link to that in the supply description too. So I was hoping it would help things be not so bright. However, I'm still struggling with that just because of the type of desk I have. So I still got to play around with that. However, I still really like it, so it's not going anywhere. Anyway, on to the rest. Alright, so we're going to start this off big, I guess. When I got my new job, I said that I was going to splurge on one of these sets, and they're pretty expensive, but I have grown to love these markers, and I have the first set of them in this series, so I just really wanted to pick up another set. Goodness, my voice is just all over the place. And so here we go. There's a little crack in the plastic, but no big deal. This is the Copic sketch set. I got the set B. I have the set A plus some skin tones. So this is the next set in the series. I do plan to eventually own all the markers, though it'll probably take years at their price point. Let's go ahead and pull this off. Oh, it's just the tops that are like that. That is... Did the bottoms? Yeah, okay. So they are sorted on the bottoms, but golly, it's too bright. All right. It's either too bright or not bright enough. All right. So if you're wondering what the second set has, and I could get this to where, there we go. Looks a little better. We have some nice, like, kind of off-whites here. It looks like a dull ivory, milky white, some more browns in the leather. Do I have a light walnut? I feel like I have. Yes, I already have light walnut, but that's okay. So a couple of these are probably going to be duplicates of what I already have, since I did pick up some skin tones, but I'm pretty okay with that at this point. It's only like 2 or 3 of them. The cool grays, I have like the odd numbers of the cool grays, and so this gives me the even numbers of the shades 0 through 10, and then it looks like I get neutral grays, like the odds of those. In the blues, we've got a duck blue, frost blue, robin's egg, and an ice blue, lapis lazuli, sky, powder blue, smoky blue. Couple more neutrals. Looks like we've got quite a few neutrals in here. I actually have barley beige and light suntan, and then you get a couple others which I don't have, which are really nice. You get, in terms of your This says E, so it says light mahogany and lipstick natural. So those are two interesting looking colors. I'll be curious to see how they look when I put them on my swatch. We have a golden yellow. Only 2 new yellows in the set, which is fine. Set A has quite a few yellows. I've got like 5 or 6 of them, so I'm pretty okay with that. We got an acid yellow and a golden yellow, which are good additions to the yellows I already have. Nice set of greens. Looks like we've got an emerald, like a good, just solid green color, as well as the grass green. Looks like we've got some pale greens. This moss looks like a nice dark green, along with a pine tree. This one is a really dark, almost brownish green. These would be good colors for like moss and your darker greens. Some more blues in the blue-green section. We've got some blue violets, some more purples, which is really nice. A few more pinks, which are really lacking in, not really lacking. I guess it had a fair amount of pinks, but not a lot of pinks that went together well in the first set. So I believe these will be good. These will be good to pair up, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It was reds. Like you really only had like 2 or 3 reds, so I get a few more here. What is that? Prawn? Oh, okay. And then kind of a light orange, which is always nice, and a barium yellow. So some interesting colors in here, some nice complementary colors to the first set. Like I said, I have maybe, for some reason I have a blush, and I don't know how. I bet that was in the skin tone set I got. So 1, 2, 3, I think 5 of these are duplicates, but that's pretty okay with me at this point. So what I'm going to do is swatch these. I have a full set of all the Copic sketch series, and I've already got my first set, the set A, swatched out. So we are going to swatch this set out, and I'll show you guys what those look like together and what colors you get with the set A and set B. I'll show you that next. All right, so this is all of the Copic sets, sketch sets together in one set of swatches. I would eventually like to put these in the smaller swatch sets, but with so many markers, I have a feeling that is going to be a big project. So for now, this will do. So this is, right now I have set A and set B, so this is a combination of the two to just show you like what the colors are and which ones would pair well together. So as I was saying, there were quite a few light violets and blue violets in set B, and there's this really nice blueberry one as well, but like this pale lilac and mallow. The pale lilac will probably go really well with either the lavender or the lilac. You get a really nice pink and a light pink and a dark pink as well in the set. And then I got some really nice reds. I love that lipstick red because it feels like a true red. The cadmium red still had just a touch of orange in it. And then a couple really dark reds, the garnet and the cardinal, were from the set. So not a lot of oranges added and yellow oranges because the set A already has quite a few. So there was just a nice light orange added there. A couple yellows. These give me more of like golden yellow colors. The acid and the golden yellow here. The barium gives me a nice, very light pale yellow that will complement well with the pale and lemon that I already have. As far as greens, I like the acid green, the grass green. They give me a lot of nice light to medium greens, and then also some really nice dark greens. So like these, I feel like the first set's a really good like basic color set. And then, especially because you get a lot of oranges, which is unusual for a marker set, but and a lot of yellows, but like this is very complimentary in that you're really starting to get light shades and dark shades to complement like those medium level colors you already have. Quite a few blue greens in this, and added to the ones I already had, which is really nice. I love this moon white color. It looks really well with the cool shadow. Will be good for like the moon. I mean, big shocker there. I really like this Nile and duck blue as well. And then I don't think there were a ton of just regular blues added. I think I had like, again, light tones, dark tones kind of added to the medium ones we already had in place. This fruit pink color, this is what the lipstick rose and light mahogany turned out to be. Just some interesting neutral colors to use. I struggle with neutral colors, so this section will be, there were definitely some good colors in there, but I always struggle with them, so hopefully having more colors to choose from will help out with that. I really like this chamois. Is that what it's called? I don't know how to pronounce that word, but that is a really pretty color. Just some really nice neutrals in the set. My cool grays are fully fleshed out, 0 through 10, which is really nice for shade detail. I had some neutral grays in the set added, which was really nice as well. So if you were curious what it looked like, now I'm going to try to put a picture up here. If you see it, it worked. If you don't see it, then you'll know. This is a shot of what both sets look like together in the color order that's on the swatch sheet in my marker trays. So I'm really pleased with them. I have all the very, not cheap, but I know I will use these markers. So at the end of the day, would I rather buy cheaper markers I'm not going to use or that run out all the time, or buy some that I can refill and will last me a while? So for me right now, I can do the refills. Not everybody can, and I'm lucky I can and grateful I can. This was, like I said, one of the things I wanted to splurge on just as a me gift for the new job. So now, can I actually start coloring and using these markers? We shall see. So on to the next thing. Next up, we have this, which is the 72 set of the Derwent ChromaFlow pencils. I was not planning on getting these, however, they were marked down to a really good price during the Prime sale a few weeks ago. And so either they're talking about a 120 set, or maybe a 120 set already exists. I'm not real sure. However, like I said, these were, when I checked back on previous price points, these were at some of the lowest prices they've been all year. So I was like, yeah, why not? Again, splurging a bit. So this is what they look like in the tin. I am going to put them in a case. I bought some cases as well. And I'm going to show those separately, I guess. And I'm going to show you these swatches in just a minute, and we're super bright again. Part of the problem is the desk that I film at is it's a tall desk with like a back to it, and so my light disperses really weird here. It just doesn't have much area to disperse, and I think that's why I have the light issues I have. Eventually My plan is to get a different type of desk. I actually already have a standing desk to replace my other desk. That was one of the other things I picked up, and we just haven't put it together yet. If that works out, I'll also be replacing this with the same type of desk, but we're just not doing that right now. So let's move to the swatches. So I wanted to show you guys while I was swatching these, because I don't have any of this done. I'm actively doing it while I'm shooting clips for this. So these are the Derwent Chromaflows. Just the little bit I've swatched so far, I actually am really digging these. These are definitely soft. I've heard a lot of people compare them to Prismacolor, and I don't think they're wrong in that assessment. So what I'm going to do, this is the Pompeian red. So I'm going to hold the pencil back, which means lighter pressure. But even with this light pressure, can you see how much color is easily coming down? So these give a very nice color even when you're applying light pressure. So like that's one layer there of the light pressure. Let me go ahead and just scribble in a second layer. We'll do a third layer. So even with just using light pressure, that's the type of color I'm getting already. Now if I come through and go ahead and add in a medium pressure layer. This is especially important to me because I tend to be a heavy-handed colorist when it comes to colored pencils, and a lot of that is because using lighter, so this was a medium pressure layer. Now I'm going to add in one more medium to heavy pressure layer. So this is particularly important to me because I have hand and wrist issues, and my hands and wrists get easily irritated when I'm using colored pencils. I tend to be heavy-handed because I like a lot of bright, vibrant color. And with harder pencils, a lot of times I have to press a lot harder to get those. But with these, I feel like I could actually use the lighter pressure and still get a nice color on them. So for those of us that have hand and wrist issues, I really like these. And as you can see, I'm getting some pretty nice color just doing that. Basically, I usually just do a light pressure and then a medium to heavy pressure just to get the swatches. I'm not going to show you this next one because it's a real pale salmon. I don't even know if you guys can you even see the color. I also really like the colors in this so far. Like, I like the oranges. I feel like these are named well. Like, there's some pencil sets that will say this is, Autumn Blaze, and it really does not look like an autumn type color. But like this one, I feel like that was a really nicely named color. Not that that's really a big deal at the end of the day. That's why we have swatches, but I don't know. These feel like they're more intuitively named instead of, oh, let's just call this something. Now, this is the first one I've really, and that was another key, I really haven't had any dust from the pencil kick up. And that is unusual. For Prismacolors, I would definitely have pencil dust coming up on these, but like these, there was just a little bit on that salmon. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that to y'all, and so now we'll move to showing you the full swatch. All right, so moving stuff out of the way. So I have successfully, that's 110 gone. Whoa, that was loud. Sorry. Here they are all in their 72 set case. So they look great. I only had one pencil that had the lead was broken, just it kind of fell out, so I had to resharpen it. Most of these definitely aren't like I'm going to have to like pre-sharpen them. They're pretty dull coming out of the box. No big whoop. Now for these swatches, I like using these little handheld ones that you can punch holes and cut out, and they're just a lot easier for me to use and hold up against a piece of paper. Or if I were to mix pencils, these would be easier to put up against each other to determine which pencils I want to use. And I did buy a laminator. That might be one thing I show you guys, because I was using packing tape and it was just really annoying, so I just went ahead and bought a laminator. Anyway, so this is a 72 set, and so with that, you know, 72 sets I struggle with because I feel like a lot of times that's the number where you get overall a decent set of colors, but there's usually a pretty, you know, there's missing pieces that you would really rather have a 120 set. Here I feel like it's a nice set of yellows. Sunflower and sun yellow are pretty close to each other, so I kind of wish there was a little bit difference there. However, your darker yellows and there's a light orange there, which is really nice. Skin tones, you've got this melon and salmon color. And then you've got quite a few browns on the back, so I feel like skin tones are pretty decent for a 72 set. Kind of limited in your reds. I feel like you have a lot more yellows and oranges, and then the reds kind of got sacrificed for that. Not a lot of, fair amount of, you know, blue, violet, purple, and then kind of a red violet. Nice. There's a lot you could do with that. Nice set of blues. Not as many greens as I would expect from a Derwent set. Usually Derwent sets tend to have more like earth tones, more like landscape type stuff. So I like the amount of greens represented here. I just am surprised there weren't more. Though I'm pleased just because I feel like we got a lot of other colors because of that. And then you've got a lot of neutral brown tones. These are really nice. Now this is definitely again that natural kind of landscapey palette. I feel like you get a lot of really nice grays, a lot of really nice different types of browns. I like these also for potential skin tones, of course. And you get two metallic pencils, the silver and gold, which actually look pretty sharp. So I am curious if there's Derwent metallic pencils, and do they do as well as these two? Because if they have the shine that these have, I've been thinking about a metallic pencil set, and I can't decide which one I want. If Derwent has a good set, though, if they look anything like this silver and gold, I would be interested. So there are the Derwent Chroma Flows just at a glance. As you saw, I really liked how easily they went down on the paper. I'm definitely excited to try these. So on to the next. Alright, next up we have these, which came in this nice little cardboard box. I was really lucky in that with the items that I ordered, they all actually came in a big shipped box rather than in envelopes. But I got these. So this is the 72 set, which again was on, I think, the best deal I had seen all year. So let me see here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 30, 60, 90. So I believe that according to the swatches that I have, they have expanded this set to the 100 set, which is probably why the 72 set was marked down. So what I'm going to do is just buy the individual pencils that will get me to the 100 set. So you get this little booklet here. And then here are the pencils. They look very nice. Told y'all, this was a treat yourself kind of month for me. Been so stressed. Oh, it was not a good combination. But these are really nice. They look like they have kind of like more of a natural wood look on the outside with just the color piece at the end. So let me swatch these out. Now there'll be some gaps in the swatch because of course it's for 100 and I only have the 72 set. So let me do that and I'll show you guys what that looks like. And them all put in their new case. Okay, so one thing I wanted to show was the difference between these and the laydown of the ChromaFlow. So these are definitely a harder leaded pencil. They are probably going to be more the type that you would want to do multiple layers of, just on how they've been as I've been swatching. So definitely not getting as much pigment just off the light pressure as I was the ChromaFlow. These are the light fast, of course. So that is 2 layers. Three layers of the medium to light pressure right there. And then when I try to really increase the pressure, I'm just not getting that much more pigment off the pencil. So like really having to press hard to get really heavy pigment off these pencils. So just a FYI, I will definitely still use them. They have some really unique colors in them and I'm still glad I bought them. But if you're somebody that needs less pressure, like you like a lot of bold color but you want to use less pressure on your pencils, these may not be the best choice. So just a little excerpt there. All right, so as I had noted, these pencils definitely are harder to lay down in terms of being a harder type pencil. Lightfast are oil based pencils. It says right there on the tin, and from the way they lay down like an oil based pencil to me. So they, I feel like it's relatively accurate. So there are 100 Lightfast pencils. I bought the 72 set, and so for now I have this cute little thing I bought. In retrospect, I should have bought a they don't really make a lot of 100 pencil set cases. It's usually 120 because 100 is a little bit of an odd number. Usually it's either 72 or 120. So I went ahead and just used the 72 set, which works out anyway because I said this was on sale for 130 US, which was one of the lowest prices it had been on Amazon. And the 100 set with the other 28 pencils was around $350. Is that right? Oh, it's $300 on Amazon. So It's 72 counts, currently 155. So right now it would be $150 extra dollars for 28 pencils. No, no, don't think so. On Blick, it's the wood box set of 100 is cheaper than the 10 box. That's really odd, by like almost $10. Anyway, I was not going to pay 150 plus for 28 pencils. Just wasn't going to do it. So I figure I will order them as they come into stock. I was looking on Blick's site and I'm not seeing the new pencils on there yet as open stock, probably because they are not wanting to make them open stock till they feel like they've gotten everybody they can get with the new price, is my guess. So it's probably going to be a while before these are available. They might be available somewhere else other than Blick. If so, let me know in the comments. But I'm just looking at a couple of these. I'm not seeing the new 28. Oh, there's apricot. So some of them are on there. Okay, so anyway, this was the 100 swatch, so you can see there are some gaps. You've got, so one thing that's really neat about the Light Fast set is we have some really pale tones. So for those of you that want to do like highlights or really light, just barely there any color type areas in your picture, there are a lot of pencils in this set that have that really light pastel tone. So like the champagne, you can see, is a very pale yellow. This oyster is a really pale pink. Your light skin tones here are real light. So this is what this set looks like with just the 72. You get a really nice variety of purples and blues, I feel like, and a good set of greens. I really like the earth tones in this one, the earth tones and the darker skin tones. I feel like a lot of these are colors I don't see very often in other sets, so I feel like that's where these will come in handy. But like there's that wheat color, that's a real light color. This, where is it? There's light aqua. So where'd it go? Arctic. That's actually a pencil. That one's almost too light, but that is a very, very light blue. So if you like having super light, you know, just barely there color, there's some really interesting pencils in this set. And then the warm gray did something really weird. You can kind of see it there. It's like the end of the pencil wasn't mixed very well, so it got kind of weird and scratchy. So I may have to sharpen that and just make sure. I do like the different tones of black here too. You don't see that very much. So overall, I like it. I will probably be using these more over like marker or something like that, just because they take so much pressure to really get a lot of solid color. You got to build up a lot of layers with these. And like I said, I will slowly be adding to the set as I'm able to get access to the other pencils in the set. In comparison to the ChromaFlow, these are both Derwent brands. I just thought it'd be interesting at a glance. You get a lot more yellows and oranges in the ChromaFlows. Feel like maybe a few more reds in the Light Fast. You don't really get any pinks, but you do get some skin tones. A lot more purples and blue violets in the Light Fast. A lot more light blues in the ChromaFlows. Light and blue greens. The greens look pretty similar. Though you do get some nice little variety in the ChromaFlow. And then I feel like together you get a really nice, if you actually had the two sets together, you get a really nice set of earth tones. So, and then you'd also get, I think, a pretty nice set of grays. So that's just kind of looking at the two together. Don't want to get them confused. So I'll have to wait to cut this out and laminate it until I get all the pencils, but that's okay. So, all right, on to the last pencil set of this haul. So yeah, here is the other big splurge I did. There's a 100 set of luminance out there now. I did just go ahead and get the 76 set. They're both also still priced pretty pricey right now. Hang on just a second. So these are currently for around 180 on Amazon. So there are 24 more pencils to make 100 in these. However, I believe that they sell a box of 20 of those, and then you have to buy the 4 others open stock to get the full 100 set. I don't know if, as far as I can tell, at least on Amazon, the full 100 set is not available for purchase as far as I can see. So I will be, just like the Life Vest, I will be picking those up. Probably should have went ahead and got those, but I just didn't realize until I got these. So these come, man, this is the nicest set. I mean, for the price point, I guess so, but this is probably the nicest packaging I've ever seen for colored pencils. So you get this really nice wooden box with the extra big lid. They are all in here, each individually encased in this foam. Get this really nice swatch chart. Now, isn't that pretty? And then you have the little tabs here, so you can lift out one tray and have the other. Ooh, these are real nice. Goodness. So I feel real fancy with these. So same as the others, let me get these swatched. I don't know if I'll put them in the case. I might go ahead and put them in the 72 case or the 76 because I'll be able to squeeze a couple more in there. And then I might buy the other 20 set like here in the next month or two. So let's go ahead and get these swatched. All right, so I completely forgot to do, it's getting late in the evening and I'm getting tired. I completely forgot to do a small little excerpt showing how these shade in compared to the Light Fast and the ChromaFlow. I think these shaded very nicely. They have a feel to them unlike any of the other pencils I feel like I have. Even held lightly, I feel like they had really nice color. But like 2 or 3 layers and I feel like they, laid down really nicely. Like I feel like these are, fairly soft pencils. I also like, there's a lot of unique colors here and some color families that I feel like kind of fill in the gaps for some of the others. So like in looking at this, you have some really nice light kind of neutral cream colors, the buff titanium, which I've seen used a lot in videos. The primrose and Naples ochre all are just really nice kind of creamy colors that would be good for highlights and to go over other pencils, maybe to create like a pastel shade. Sorry for the loud noise. You have some really nice reds. Like I feel like this is especially between this permanent red, the scarlet, and then this crimson alizarin hue. Like you have a really good 3 red combo there. I feel like a lot of times between light and medium reds, it tends to be hard for me to discern it between colors in a set, but like this one I can tell the difference really nicely. Some really nice light pinks and purple pinks in this. You also have some violet grays and browns, like some not typical. So I feel like that's a good explanation of this set. Like, I feel like there's some colors in here that really would enhance other pencil sets that you don't typically find in most pencil sets. So like these gray violets, the violet brown, these types of colors, like you might see them in Prismacolors, but like in most of the budget-friendly pencils, you don't find this many kinds of purple shades. You mostly just get like one of these, and one of these. So that's really nice. In the blues, I like this ice blue because it's a little bit different. Again, this gray blue is one I wouldn't typically see places. And this really dark green's real nice. So I feel like while I probably could come up with 2 or 3 pencil combos for this set, and particularly when I buy the remainders and fill in these blanks here, because remember I only have 72 of the 100. And I am going to just, I think, go ahead and purchase the extra 20 set and then buy the 4 that are left open stock if they're available. I really like that Karen Dash did that. I wish Derwent Lightfast would do that, and maybe they will eventually. They're just, like I said, not doing it right now, which, you know, I'll leave my commentary alone on that. And I just think it's silly to pay $200 extra for 28 pencils. But at the end of the day, the last thing I'm going to do is judge anybody for what they pay for pencils or art supplies or coloring supplies. So is your money, you do with it what makes you happy. So this also has, I think, some really again, the natural tones, earth tones in this set. I love, this is probably my favorite thing about because I struggle so much with shading with different neutral tones. I don't know, my voice is starting to go, I think. Sorry. I struggle with those, but however, this has like an olive brown 10%, 50%, and then the full olive brown color. And you get that in the raw umber, burnt ochre, burnt sienna, brown ochre, the sepia. I really like that. Like, that makes coloring with neutral, like in more natural colors, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for me trying to come up with 2 or 3 pencil combos. So I have a feeling these types of pencils are going to get really heavily used in this set for me. So I'm super excited about that, and I think that's something that really makes this set stand out. And they also have a really nice set of grays. So in comparison to the other 3 sets, what I think the combo, what I'm most interested, I think, in trying, besides them individually on their own, is I'm curious to see how the ChromaFlows do with the luminance, because they're both softer pencils, and a lot of the gaps here in the yellows and oranges, which, like I said, will fill in a bit better with the additional set, but a lot of the gaps that I have here, I can fill in with the ChromaFlow, especially in the oranges and the yellows. A lot of the kind of violet blues and some of the like lilacs and stuff that I'm missing from luminance, I can also fill in with the ChromaFlow. So I think I'll be curious to pair these sets together on a picture and show you guys how they do together. I'm also curious about pairing them with the Lightfast. However, and I know some people do it and probably don't have an issue with it. I just have a feeling like, because the Lightfast are a harder oil-based pencil, like they may do better paired with Faber-Castell or another oil-based pencil. I'm not sure how well they do mixed in like Lightfast and luminance together and stuff. Might need to watch some videos and see on that. But for now, I've put them back in their case because this case is like Honestly, this case is probably more secure for them than a standard pencil case, but it would make it very hard to use them like this, so I'm not going to keep them in this forever. But I think I'm going to buy, there's a 200 pencil case on Amazon, and what I think I'm going to do is buy that and put both the Lightfast and the Luminance in that. I don't have to buy two big cases with extra space in them. I mean, they might expand these sets eventually, but I have a feeling it's going to be years if they're going to do that. So, all right, so this should wrap up the colored pencil portion of this. I just wanted to, I like trying to swatch them out and show you guys how the sets compare and what the shades look like, and my thoughts on them. I would say I'm happy with all three sets. The Lightfast probably won't get as much use, or they'll be what I use over markers, and maybe on toothier paper is where the Lightfast will come in. But I'm really surprised with the chroma flows, and I'm really curious about the luminance. So for each pencil set, I have different feelings about them, but overall, I'm glad I picked up all three sets. So let's move on to the next thing. All right, let me show you a couple of the paints I got. So I got some watercolor and I got some acrylic paints. So I have some metallic watercolor sets, but I don't particularly like, their golds just don't seem like true gold. And so I picked up these Calero pearl colors. This is the gold and silver set. I definitely would like to get more of these, but right now I just need to use the stuff I have more before I start investing in other stuff. But these little sets come in these little trays like this. And I bet, yeah. And very pretty. Nice little trays. I like them quite a bit. And they're secured on like that. I feel like they can make the tray a little smaller, but I guess you could like put a brush here if you really wanted to. So this is, like I said, the gold and silver set, and this is how they swatched here at the top. So you see here, these, I've seen other people using these and they're just really nice. I really like the Inca gold, and the moon gold would be interesting to use over a moon. And then of course you've got a sterling silver as well, which I think is really nice. So very happy with these. Again, would like to get more of the sets, but I need to use more of what I have before I start investing in more watercolor sets. My watercolor box is already stuffed full at this point. So, all right, Scamper, what'd you do with it? All right, one thing I really splurged on. So on Instagram, there is Dreamland Watercolors. And basically what they do is they will put sets on pre-order at certain times of the year. They'll open the shop up, you order the sets, and then you get them in, I think, 1 to 2 months. Basically you're paying for all the materials, then they mix them all together, and then they ship it out and you get it a couple months later, which isn't a big deal to me. I completely understand why you do it that way. And I really wanted to try them because they look really luscious and sharp on their Instagram pages. So they are expensive. This time I did splurge and get both the Botany and Super Shifter sets. And so they came in this little tin. If I can get it opened up. And I didn't let these dry all the way. Yeah. So they come in this little tin. They come with like magnetic backs, so you can shift and move these however you like. I've got them, I think, in the Super Shifter order here at the top. They had stuck a little during shipping. I'm not too worried about that. And then this is Super Shifters, and then this is the Botany collection. And I also got 2 little test swatches for some different colors as a bonus for ordering both sets. or maybe just the Super Shifter set, I'm not sure. But they're up here, and so I had a bag for those. Who knows where it went though. So here are the swatches. These are basically like iridescent type watercolors. And so when I was first swatching, the key about these is you got to let them dry. When I was first putting them on the paper wet, they all just kind of looked muddled and looked the same. And I was like, oh, okay, not real impressed with these. However, once I let them dry, that was where they really, really started to stand out. So that's the key there. If you don't like how they look when you first put them down, give them a good amount of time to dry. So there's a Super Shifter set at the top. Like the Northern Lights, when you're looking down on it, looks pretty, but like it really sparkles when you turn it. Same with the Croton. The Golden Hour one looks really nice. Got a little crazy with the Wonderland. That Portal is a really neat color that I haven't seen very much. It's more of a, that's my favorite kind of blue. Kind of like a medium blue. Mykonos blue is what I think of it. It's like Arteza pencil color. And it's a lighter blue, and I really like that little Portal. Like, I hope at some point that becomes a watercolor I can buy. Like this one right here, I really like that color. It's kind of unique. And then the Botany set is neat because, and like I said, I made a guess. I think these are right, but I was looking back at the order and I realized I couldn't tell entirely which sets went with which, and they were all kind of mixed up when they got to me. These are a little bit softer colors, so again, with these, I had to let them dry, but you really see, these remind me a lot of the Dragon Glaze, where on white paper, you don't see too much on them till you really start tilting them in the light. And then you can really start seeing the color differences. So they're really pretty. I did get, so they opened the pre-order window for the, they had a witchcraft version set that I did order. That'll probably be the last set I order for a while. Yeah, I need, like I said, I have a ton of watercolors, and I need to use the ones I've got. So I am really pleased I got them, and like I said, I did splurge on one more set that they released right around Halloween, and that'll probably be the last set I get for a while. Because like I said, these were a bit of a splurge. I did pick up some acrylic paints. We were getting something on Amazon, and they had where you could save 5% if you picked up 2 more items. And when I clicked on that promotion, like, it took me to all these apple barrel paints that were like 70 cents to $1 a piece. So I picked up 2 paints. I mean, truly, that's probably about what I saved off of it in the long run, but so I basically got the paints for free, which is kind of cool. I just picked up 2 colors. I don't have a whole lot of apple barrel paints, but I picked up 2 colors I know I don't have a lot of, the English Navy and the Key West down here. That really nice kind of dark blue, and then a real light kind of aqua green. So picked those up. Now, I am waiting for the mail guy to drop off my 4 more of these shimmer paints. So if you've been around for a while, I rave about these because I really love them. By Ranger Ink, and you can find some of them on Amazon, but I usually go to the Ranger Ink website. They have this series of paints, shimmer paints. They're Delusions by Dan Reevely. Oh my gosh, I'm probably completely butchering that word. But basically, it's a paint that has just a very light shimmer shine to it. And I love the colors. I love this paint. One, it covers so much nice, like I find with other acrylic paints, a lot of times I have to do more than one coat. And so while these come in smaller amounts, I generally only have to use one coat of these. So it's really nice. They're a little more expensive, a little smaller things of paint, but it kind of equals out to me, I guess, because I'm not using as much of this as I would like an apple barrel or whatever. So I have two I bought that they new colors they put out at the beginning of the month, I guess for spooky season. We have squeezed orange and mushy peas. Now, a lot of these colors go in line with their distress inks, so if the color names sound familiar, that's why. So I've already swatched these two, and this is what I was talking about. So if you shine them under the light, you can see the difference. So this matte over here, there's no shine whatsoever to it. But these have just a little bit of a shine to them. And I just find that so pretty. It's pretty much my, other than watercolors, like my favorite type for acrylic paint to use are these shimmer paints. Now, here I'm going to insert the rest of the paints that I will hopefully get from the post office today. However, if we jump to the next section, just assume they came late and I'll show them next month. So a couple other items I picked up to kind of round out the coloring supply section of the video. I picked up a big black Posca paint pen for like filling in backgrounds. I just wanted to try this out as an alternative to using markers, and then especially on like double-sided pages. So there's that. I picked up another pack of the Wise Brand 50 count markers. These are my favorite go-to 50 marker set for color by numbers. They have most of the colors that I need. I think that usually I have to supplement with maybe one or two different colors, but overall I feel like this is the best budget-friendly set for color by numbers that has a brush tip on it. So I wanted to pick up another set of those. I believe this is my third set of them. I just wish I didn't have so many pinks, because those are always what I wind up with after I've used all the other markers in the set. So I did pick up another 72 count color pencil holder, and this was what I was going to use for the luminance, but since I'm going to go ahead and get the remaining 24 that I'm missing, I'm going to use this. I have some 50 sets of some watercolor pencils or regular colored pencils. I'm going to find, I have a use for this somewhere. I just need to figure out what I'm going to put in it. But these were just real pretty. Like I got this and the other three. They're all the same type. They're just different designs. So I'll have a link to that in the description. I saw a suggestion for a chargeable pencil sharpener, and so there was a good deal on that, so I picked this up. It is the Jarlink pencil sharpener. I've been using it so far. I like it. The problem I was running into with my hand sharpener is the version of the Dolly I've got leaves the little teeth marks, metal teeth marks in the pencils, and so for my softer pencils that's going to cause an issue eventually. So I thought I'd try this instead, and so far I am pretty pleased with it. It comes with a little rechargeable cord that you can use to plug into a USB port like on your computer or a wall charger. I also picked this up a while back and I really liked it. It's a little pouch that has of course cats on it, and it's very cute. And it holds quite a bit. I've got all of my iridescent type gel pens in here right now, my Sparkle Pop and my DeVickle and my Pentel Dual Metallics. So it holds quite a bit. I would say this probably would hold 50 pencils pretty securely. So there were others in the set, so I picked up this one. Or there were other types that were being sold with cat designs. Right now this is holding all my stuff for one of the pencil pages I'm working on, and then I got this one. So not 100% sure what I'm going to store in these long term, but they were really cute, so I ended up picking them up.